Yo. Welcome back to another episode of Shy Bulls Podcast. On today's episode, we got to talk about it, ladies and gentlemen. Will the Chicago Bulls allow Joel Embiid dominance to continue tonight as the Bulls face off against the 76ers? Y'all already know. Y'all got to hit them music.
Cognac. Gang.
Shy Bulls Podcast with the Cognac Boys. I'm Cognac Boy Bobby, holding it down on another episode of Shy Bulls Podcast with me and my co-host C-Dub. If you like what you're listening to today, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Look, we already know. We got the 76ers today, and then we going in Philadelphia. Then on Wednesday, we back at the UC to face those same Philadelphia 76ers. But all that matters is what's going down tonight. Will the Chicago Bulls allow Joel Embiid dominance to continue? Because right now, look, y'all, it ain't been pretty when it came down to the Bulls versus the 76ers. In the last 15 games, the Chicago Bulls have only won twice against the 76ers. And in one of those games, Joel Embiid didn't even play. So, Joel Embiid dominance has reigned over the Chicago Bulls for quite some time. But it is what it is. And honestly, it goes well beyond the last 15 games. I just didn't want to keep going back because it just made it sound that much more depressing. And how much more of a need do we need this game? That's the reality. We need this game just because simply, not only because they said every game from here on out is like game 7 and the Bulls are fighting for their play-in last with the opportunity to win the play-in. Since we got Pat Bev over here. But, hey, it's just time to get right. But against the Chicago Bulls, Joel Embiid is averaging 29 and 11. And he's been on a tear, making his case for the MVP, who I have as the NBA front runner for the MVP over Nikola Jokic, the Joker. But, man, Joel Embiid is comparing himself to the Aaron Rodgers of the NBA. How Aaron Rodgers has owned the Chicago Bears. Unfortunately, Joel Embiid believes he owns stake in the Chicago Bulls organization. But, man, screw that. Hey, this man, we're going to have to come together, band together, and figure this thing out here. This man, Joel Embiid, has not scored under 30 points for the entirety of March. Every game has been 30 and above in the month of March for Joel Embiid. So the Chicago Bulls, they must be prepared. They must come out here. They must get ready to play. Now, the big question is, what will the game plan be? Quite often, we see Billy Donovan. We're going to double Joel Embiid. Me, I'm for doubling, but you cannot do that for the entirety of the game. Billy Donovan, Nikola Vucevic, and Andre Drummond. They got to go out here and play some strong damn defense. It's at this particular moment, you got to put your heart on your sleeve and let's go. You got to have that chip on your shoulder and let's go. You got to play like you starving. You got to play like you hungry. You got to play like this game really is a game 7 to everybody that's on that Bulls organization. So you got to come out here and do your thing. And I'm not saying that Nikola Vucevic is going to stop him or even Andre Drummond is going to stop him. But you got to do something to at least slow him down. And the Bulls on the other end got to take advantage. The game plan for me will be simple. Well, it ain't that simple as we all make it seem, but it'll be kind of simple. I'll just keep it that way. But first thing first, the Bulls got to get back on defense. Tyrese Maxey can go coast to coast in the blink of an eye. And James Harden can definitely push the pace and get the ball up because he is a decent passer. You know what I'm saying? And again, these guys got to play strong defense. And Billy Donovan, you got to be quick to pull the trigger to get your man's Nikola Vucevic. If he's struggling early on, you got to go Andre Drummond. Y'all going to have to be able to do something defensively against this guy who's on a tear. Again, this man has not scored under 30 all month. It's March 20th right now. He hasn't scored under 30 all month. And that's just it. That's what it is, man. So these guys go have to come out here and play strong. I don't believe you can go ahead and double this guy for the entire of the game. And that goes for everybody else. Defensive communication has to be on point. Then another thing that I will have on the game plan. Hey, Io, come get your son. Allow Io to rock the baby. Man, he has given James Harden fits every time they matched up the last few years. And I will allow Io to come and rock the baby one more time. But now we got Pat Bev up in there. Let's see if Pat Bev can go ahead and pat James Harden on the ass. You know what I'm saying? Let him know what it is. Like, yeah, come on, young fella, go ahead and take a seat over here with me. You know what I'm saying? When your kid acting up, you be, yeah, come on here, little baby. Come over here and sit down with me since you want to act out up in public. You already know. So another question is, will the Pat Bev effect continue? Chicago Bulls are 7-4 with Pat Bev in the lineup. He believes they should have been 9-2 if it wasn't for the game winners in Sacramento and Indiana. Rightfully so. You know what I'm saying? But the reality is that we 7-4. So it is what it is. But at the end of the day, the Pat Bev effect, bro, it got to continue. It got to continue. In some way, somehow, it has to continue. I'm not coming out here saying that he needs to go out and hit 5 threes again, because that's something that it can happen, but that is something I'm not gonna bank on to happen every single night from Patrick Beverley. Like I'm with him when he comes out and he says, "Look, they leaving me open. I got to take the shot. I got to knock it down." Rightfully so, and he was right. 38% career shooter from the 3-point line. So hey, he's capable. But the thing is, I'm not going to expect him to hit 5 threes again. You know what I'm saying? Not tonight. If he does, hey, we drinking. If he don't, we drinking. Because I'm not banking on it. It is what it is. We're going to chill. We're going to watch the game. We're going to have some fun. We're going to talk our smack about the Sixers. But at the end of the day, I think that the X factors, before I get into it, I just think that Nikola Vucevic has to put pressure on Joel Embiid offensively, which is going to be difficult to do because Joel Embiid is definitely the top of the line when it comes defensively. You already know. So my next point will be that Drummond also has to be effective when he gets those minutes. He has to put pressure on 76ers guys, whether that's Joel Embiid in there or whoever else they decide to put on him. You know what I'm saying? Because, bro, Nikola Vucevic, he might end up in foul trouble. And Billy Donovan, there is no way you're going to trot out DJJ to try to stick him. Please. If I see it, I'm treating you. And that's it. We know Billy Donovan be like, hey, DJJ, come on. Go grab Joel Embiid. No, that is not smart basketball. These guys have to play strong. They're going to have to move their feet. And sometimes you're going to have to give up the bucket. But if you can force things, you got to be sound on defense. Because if you can force him outside of the paint and force him to that little, the 15-foot spot or even the 18-foot spot or past the 3-point line, you give yourself a better chance of not having Joel Embiid dominate this game. Now, who are the X factors you might ask for this particular game? It's 2 people for me, and it's very, very simple. The first person is going to be Kobe White. The man is averaging about 10 points off the bench and shooting 44% from 3 in the last 10 games. And he had a big game in the last game against the Miami Heat when he dropped 18 points. That's a necessity. It's very, very important that Kobe White at least give us his league average, which is the 10 points. I'm not going to put a lot of pressure on Kobe White to go ahead and say he needs to have 15. No, just give us your league average, hit a couple threes, stick some solid defense like he's been doing, and be effective. You don't have to go crazy on the scoring output because we don't know. This might be a high-scoring game. This might be a low-scoring game. We just got to see how it's going to turn out. Then my next X factor and my last X factor will be Patrick Williams. Patrick Williams is the X factor moving forward for the remainder of these 12 games, bro. We got a dozen games left. He's the X factor, in my opinion. Look, this guy is giving you 10 points per game on 54% shooting in this last, 54% from 3 in this last 10 games. I need Patrick Williams to continue that. And in the last 10 games, since Patrick Beverley has arrived, P. Will been willing. He ain't been P. won't. He been P. willing. You know what I'm saying? He's been going to the basket more aggressively. He's been very, very effective defensively. He's been getting out on the run. He's been doing this thing, man, and kudos to him. And I believe that this guy, he has to get over his league average tonight. You have to be able to give us more than 10 points because I feel like he's going to be in some of those key moments to where it's just him and Vooch on the court, and he's going to have to provide some solid help defense to slow down Joel Embiid because you ain't stopping him, but you need to slow him down. You need to get some effective plays, and I don't give a damn if we win by 1 point. The ultimate goal, the objective for tonight, the writing on the wall, the text message that just came through is very, very simple. Win this game. We cannot allow this man to continue to dominate over Chicago Bulls basketball, man. We can't allow that. Look, it's a hard thing. Me, I'm a competitor. If you beat me 10 times, I gotta beat you 20 times. If you beat me 3 times, I gotta beat you 6 times. The point is, I gotta beat you more than you beat me. That is what it is. So these guys gotta come out and do what the hell needs to be done. They need to take care of business. My X factors is Kobe White, Patrick Williams, and y'all seen the game plan. We can't come out here and constantly, we cannot double on every play. You can't do it. You got to play strong defense. You got to get back in transition. You got to let the Pat Bev effect take effect and remain in effect. And Andre Drummond, you got to be effective when you get minutes, my guy. So y'all go ahead and let me know everything. Go ahead and hit the comment box below. Let me know y'all thoughts on everything we discussed today. You know what I'm saying? If you want to be a part of anything that we got coming up, you can go ahead and send us any text message or voicemails to that number, 773-242-9219. Make sure you like the channel and subscribe to it if you haven't done so already. This is another episode of Shy Bulls Podcast. I'm Bobby. I'm going to catch y'all on the next one.
Cognac. Gang.